Hi friends, I am going to start the Angular application. I am going to start to building the Angular application. For that, I have shown you all the topics that I am going to cover day by day by uploading multiple videos. You can see from top we have a syllabus. We have to cover the syllabus components overview, second components and the data binding, directive, service and dependency injection, changing page with routings, template driven forms, reactive forms, transport output using pipes, making HTTP requests, authentication and routing protection. I will explain everything in the details. But today I am starting the first topics, components overview. What is a components overview? Basically components. What is components? Components is a class with at the rate of components decorators that directly interact with the HTML page. Means components is a class that is going to interact with your HTML page or the DOM page, and the combining type script class plus at the rate of components decorators builds the components. Here what is decorators? Basically decorators is the metadata which added to the class. Okay, so without delaying I am going to create some Angular application. Just watch it. Just watch it. I am opening the command prompt. Okay, I am going to build my first application in my PC, where in the E drive. Okay, so I just open the command prompt. Here I am typing E drive. Okay, now I am going to write the CLI commands. ng new Angular app. My Angular app name will be Angular app. Okay, ng space new space Angular app. Just hit the enter. It will take some time and it will create an application with the name Angular app. All the required directive will be installed inside the folder Angular app. Here you can see in my command prompt it's asking, do you like to add Angular routing? Yes and no. I am just typing yes. Okay. Here next it's showing multiple CSS styling sheet class. You can see here which do you want to add. I am just adding the top CSS which is by default. Just hit enter. You can see here, you can watch the command prompt. You can see it's creating multiple files with the different names. You can see the folder that has been created, Angular app. Okay, just open it. You can see here the multiple files is installing from the command prompt with CLI. Okay, it will take some times to complete all the process, and after the completion of the process I will going to start to build an first Angular application. I will explain all the files what they are in the details. You can watch all these script files, different types of files, JSON files, CSS files, .ts means TypeScript file, HTML files, JSON files, many required files is going to be installed inside the folder with name Angular app. Just let them complete. It will take some time. Okay, and you can see here all the packages has been installed by the Angular CLI commands, and I am going to show the folders where it has been installed. You can see inside the drive with the folder name Angular app. You can see multiple files is available here, and when I open node underscore module, you can see there is a multiple file that has been installed here. That's why it takes too much time. All are the helping files which will help us to build an Angular application. Okay, now I'm just opening the code editor, Visual Studio Code Editor. This is a software by taking the help of this Visual Studio Code Editor, I will able to run my application. Okay, just I have opened the Visual Studio Code Editor. Okay, just go to the file menu, open folder. Okay, Angular app, select the Angular app, select folder. Yes, you can see here all the files, required files inside the Angular apps has been installed, and you can see all those files. Okay, I will explain all the files, but before that you have only to focus on this src file. Whatever we are going to do or changes, we will do inside the source folder and inside the app folder. Okay, any changes which we are going to do, any development that we are going to do, we are going to change inside the app folders. Okay, here you can see multiple files. I have explained you the components. You can see here the app components.ts. I told you what is a component. It's a class. You can see export class app components with a component decorators. Component decorator start with the @ sign. It's a component decorators. For example, just I am removing this one. So you can see export class and the class name. Okay, it's a TypeScript class, but it's not a component. To complete and to become a component, you have to add these decorators, and whole this page will communicate with app component.html. That's why I have written here. You can see that components directly interact with the HTML page. Okay, so here app component.ts will going to interact with app.components.html. okay, here you can see app module.ts. What is app module.ts? You can just, I'm opening the app module.ts. just see here, it's also a class. You can see export class app module. Okay, it is also a class. If someone is going to ask what is the app module, so it's a class with @ng module decorators. You can see @ng module decorators, and inside the ng module decorators you can see declarations, imports, bootstrap and providers. Okay, I will explain what is a decorators, what is imports, bootstrap and provider in the details. Here you can see we have imported browse modules, ng modules, app routing modules, app components modules. Okay, and in the declaration we have added app components. What is app components? I have explained you, app component.ts. it's app component.ts. okay, so app component, so app modules is a place where we group components, different services, pipes, and the bootstrap it. Okay, you don't have to bother for the folder ng_module, because here you can see multiples helping class library are available. It will help us to build the application. You can see here, for example, here you can see the browse modules. It is available inside the ng_modules. If we are You can see app routing modules is also available inside the ng underscore module. So all the helping modules that we are going to import here are available inside ng underscore modules. Okay, so don't look into it. We have to focus inside only the folder app modules. Now we are going to create our components. Okay, we can directly create the components by clicking new files, by creating new files, or inside a new folder. Okay, but we are taking the help of a CLI commands. Just open a CLI commands. Okay, so you have to type ng, okay, g for generate, space c for components, and the components name. For example, I am giving the components name as employee. Okay, I have given the component name as employee. So I am again explaining. We are typing Angular CLI commands as ng space g for generate space c for components space employee. Just hitting the enter. You can see inside the source folder and inside the app folder we will find a new folder with the name employee. Sorry, to create a component we have to go inside the employee modules. So what I am typing cd space employ, because we are going to create a component inside the employee folder. cd space just I am typing the folder name. Angular app. And inside the Angular app we are going to run the Angular CLI command as ng space g space c for component and the component name, that is employee. So it will create a folder employee, and inside the employee folder we will see employee components. Just see. You can see here four file has been created: employee.component.html, .spec.ts, component.ts, and css. I am going to show here. You can see here, before creating an employee there was no any folder with the name employee. Now we have an employee folder. Inside the employee folder we have a file. First file is employee component.cs, second file is employee.component.html, third file is employee.component.spec.ts. basically it is used for the testing purpose. We are not going to write anything inside this one. And fourth file is employee.component.ts. okay, everything is okay. Just open the employee.component.ts. okay, here you can see same class name, export class employee name. Here you can see the component decorators. Here inside the component decorator you can see three things: selectors, templates URL, and the styles URL. What is the selectors? Basically selectors is a place inside the HTML. Selectors is a place inside the HTML where we are going to bind the employee. For example, we know that the Angular is a single application page. Okay, single application page means always one page is going to serve to you. Here you can see the defaults components is a app component.html. okay, here you can see that there is a router outlets. Okay, you can see there is a router outlet and there is a default app component.ts. you can see app routes. So what will happen, this app.root will use as a tag inside the router outlet. Okay, let's see here app root. Where is the app roots? I'm going to index.html. just open the index.html. so always when you are building an Angular application, it will be a single application page. So always you will get an index.html. you can see here the app roots tag. Okay, and this app root tags is where it is inside app component.ts. you can see the selectors. Okay, templates URLs is a URL of the app component.html, and there is style URL is also app component.cs. you can see here. The same way, if I want to show the employee details, then we have to use this tag as a app component. So just copy this app employee, it's a selectors, just because always you have to use the app component.html. it's a default. Just I'm deleting all the default things, and that I am passing the selectors app employee. you can see I have added the selectors. Inside this selector tags, our employee HTML will render here. So basically the selectors creates a place. Selectors what do, it's creates a place where our whole templates section is going to be rendered. Okay, let's see here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open employee.component.html. you can see employee box available here. Okay, so I am going to run this application. For that, what I have to do, I have to do one thing again. We have to run the server, Angular server. So I am typing Angular CLI command ng space serve. So it will create a running server for us, and it will create a URL, development URL, where we will test our running application. Just wait and watch what CLI is going to provide us. Because when you are, you can see here it has created a local URL, means http://localhost:4200/, or it's compiling. You can see the percentage of compilation. So our development URL will be http://localhost:4200. we will test our development in this URL. How we will test, I am going to show you steps by steps. You can see the percentage is increasing. Now you can see at the bottom it's showing a message that compilation successfully. So what we are going to do, we are opening the browser we are typing localhost 4200. Just a minute. Localhost 4200. You can see here we have created a default application here. Welcome to Angular app. You can see here we have a default links also. Just I am showing where it has been written. Just open the Visual Studio Code, app component.html. Just save it because I have already removed this one. Now you can see here, just refresh it. Here you can see employee walks. So we have created a first application. So now I am explaining you. Here we have created the employee and there are 4 files: employee component.cs, html and typescripting. So mostly we will focus the typescript and the html. So always understand the selectors is what is the selectors. Selectors is a place where we integrate our components.html. For example, if we want to run our HTML section inside another HTML section, for that we use a selectors tag. Okay, and templates URL means what the URL we have. For example, you can see we have a employee.component.html. It's our templates URL. So inside the selectors, our page will render. So I have shown you app slash employee has been integrated inside app component.html. You can see. Okay, now so this is my first application. So anything, for example, now I am going to write inside employee box. This is my first Angular app, and you can see at the browser employee box, and this is my first Angular app. Means our HTML employee HTML is rendering somewhere, and where inside app components.html. It's a basic components, or you can see it's a root components. So we have a linking. Our employee components is rendering inside the app component.html, and our app component.html is rendering inside index.html, because app component selectors has been written inside app component.html. You can see, and the app component selectors, you can see app roots has been written inside index.html. Okay, this is the steps. So I think you have understand what is the components. Now I will explain you the data binding. What is the data binding? Thanks for watching this video.